बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। ये लेसन है फ्रॉम द टोफल सीरीज फॉर द बिगनर्स। आज हम इसमें पार्टिसिपल्स एज एडजेक्टिव्स स्टडी करेंगे। सो विदाउट फर्दर अड्यू लेट्स स्टार्ट द लेसन। नाउ वेरी ऑफन व्हेन देयर इज नो रेगुलर एडजेक्टिव फॉर्म फॉर अ वर्ब, द प्रेजेंट और अ पास्ट पार्टिसिपल ऑफ द वर्ब कैन बी यूज्ड एज एन एडजेक्टिव। समटाइम्स आपके पास ये भी कंडीशन होती है कि आपके पास कोई रेगुलर एडजेक्टिव फॉर्म ऑफ वर्ब नहीं होती। इन दैट केस आपने एक प्रेजेंट या पास्ट पार्टिसिपल को यूज़ करना है ऑफ द वर्ब दैट विल बी यूज्ड एज एन एडजेक्टिव इन दैट केस। उसकी एग्जांपल देखते हैं। नाउ हाउएवर इट इज समटाइम्स डिफिकल्ट फॉर द फॉरेन स्टूडेंट्स टू डिसाइड वेदर टू यूज अ प्रेजेंट पार्टिसिपल और अ पास्ट पार्टिसिपल और वर्ब इन द ing form which is a third word form as an adjective. नाउ डिसाइडिंग कि आपने प्रेजेंट लेना है, पास्ट लेना है इन कंटिन्यूस में, या आपने वर्ब की थर्ड फॉर्म लेनी है, ये डिसाइड करना इज़ अ बिट डिफिकल्ट इन ऑर्डर टू यूज सच थिंग्स एज एन एडजेक्टिव। सो उसको हम स्टडी करेंगे कैसे करना है। नाउ द प्रेजेंट पार्टिसिपल यानी कि प्रेजेंट इन कंटिन्यूस टेंस इज यूज्ड एज एन एडजेक्टिव व्हेन नाउन इट मॉडिफाइज, परफॉर्म्स और इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द एक्शन। अगर आपका जिस एक्शन को आप रेफर कर रहे हैं एज एन एडजेक्टिव इज द वन रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द एक्शन, इज एक्चुअल द डूअर ऑफ द वर्क, ऐसे में आपने प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूस को यूज़ करना है अपने एडजेक्टिव के तौर पे। अगेन अगर आपने प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूस के वर्ब को यूज़ करना है एज एन एडजेक्टिव तो आपने उस नाउन के साथ यूज़ करना है जो नाउन एक्चुअली रिस्पॉन्सिबल है फॉर द एक्शन, हु इज द डूअर इन द वर्ब इन द सेंटेंस। नाउ फर्दर द वर्ब इज एक्चुअली is usually intransitive. By now we know intransitive the verb is the one who does not take an object, and the verb form of the sentence is the progressive which is continuous aspect. In that case आपका जो वर्ब है वो इंट्रांसिटिव होगा, यानी कि वो होगा जो आपका कॉम्प्लीमेंट नहीं लेगा, और जो वर्ब फॉर्म होगी ऑफ द सेंटेंस दैट इज इन द कंटिन्यूस एस्पेक्ट, इन द प्रोग्रेसिव एस्पेक्ट। फॉर एग्जाम्पल द क्राइंग बेबी वोक मिस्टर बिनियन। अब आपका जो क्राइंग बेबी है, आपने इसमें बेबी वॉज क्राइंग एंड इट एक्चुअली वॉज द वन हु वोक मिस्टर बिनियन। सो आपका बेबी इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल, ही इज डूइंग द एक्शन। सो द क्राइंग बेबी woke Mr. Binion. So यहाँ पर आपने जो crying है that is the baby. The purring kitten snuggled close to the fireplace. The kitten was purring actually. So आपने इस purring को आपने kitten के साथ mention किया है because आपका जो kitten है that is responsible for the action. He is actually the doer. The blooming flowers in the meadow created a rainbow of colors. Now this blooming, this present continuous हमने use किया है अपने flowers के साथ because they are the one who is doing the action. So they are responsible for it. So that's why we write the present continuous verb with this one who is doing, who is the action, the doer is the flowers. Now comes the past participle is used as an adjective when the noun it modifies to is the receiver of an action. So far हमने example देखी, अपने present continuous को आपने use किया as a participle modifier for a noun who was responsible for doing an action, who was a doer. However जब आपने past participle को as an adjective use करना है तो ऐसे में आपका जो noun होगा which this past participle as adjective is referring to, is modifying to, is the one who is receiving an action, is not the one who is doing an action. The sentence from which this adjective comes from is generally in the passive aspect. अब हम इसको further study करते हैं. For example, the sorted mail was delivered to the offices before noun. Now आपने past participle use किया which is sorted. Mail is the one who is receiving an action. Who is delivering them? Somebody is delivering them to the office. So the mail is being received. So these are the passive one. They are not doing an action. तो इसके साथ आपने past participle को as adjective use किया है. The mail had been sorted. Somebody sorted them. So they are the receiver of the action. Frozen food is often easier to prepare than the fresh food. Again इसमें आपने past participle use किया है. Food has been frozen by someone. So food is being received. He is not doing an action. He is receiver of an action. The imprisoned men were unhappy with their living conditions. The men had been imprisoned. So he is the one who is receiving an action. तो इसलिए आपने यहाँ पे past participle को as an adjective के तौर पे use किया with a noun who is receiving an action. Other verbs such as interest, bore, excite and frighten, they're all even more difficult to comprehend. The rule is basically the same as that given above. The verb ing form is used when the noun causes action and the verb ed form is used when the noun receives the action. In all these verbs, conditions even more difficult to understand. But one thing which is important to understand कि आपने verb को ing form में use करना है जब आपके पास noun action perform कर रहा है is the doer, और verb ed form में या past form में लिखना है जब आपका जो action है वो receive होने by the noun. the one he is receiving, right? So अब इसको देखते हैं. The boring professor put the students to sleep. The professor is the one who is causing the action. So आपने ing के साथ अपना verb लिख दिया है. Now the boring lecture put the students to sleep. Now the lecture is responsible. So the boring comes, the ing form comes with the lecture. The bored students went to sleep during the boring lecture. Now a student are the one who is receiving the action. So the bored comes with the student who are receiving the action. Second form comes with the student because students are not performing action. They are the receivers. Another example, the child saw a frightening movie. Movie is the one who is causing the fright. So the frightening comes with the movie, the continuous verb form. Now the frightened child began to cry. The child was frightened by the movie. So child is the receiver of an action. So the frightened comes with the child. So now you should know that आपने जो adjective के तौर पे use करना है participles को. So आपका जो crux of the आपका जो सारी story का crux है वो ये है कि continuous ing comes with a noun who is performing an action. And the verb ed forms or participle past comes when आपका जो noun है that is receiving an action. This is about the participle as adjectives. So now to understand the whole concept हम इसके exercise को go through करेंगे. This is an exercise of 10 questions जिसमें आपके पास correct form of participle को use करना है as adjective in the following sentences. Whether it is ing or whether it's broken or ed past form depending कि आपके पास आपका जो noun है वो action perform कर रहा है या वो action receive कर रहा है. So these are the 6 questions. 4 more questions on your screen here. There you have total questions, 20 questions on your screen. So after you are done with all these 20 questions, deciding कि आपने ing form लेना है कि ed form या third form of verb लेना है depending कि आपका noun की conditions क्या है, फिर हम इसके answers देखेंगे. So these are the 20 questions all together on your screen. So if you are done with the questions, I hope on every question slide you just pause your video and answer the right question, and then we will start off with the answers. So here the answers begin. Starting with the first one, the broken dishes lay on the floor. Somebody break them, so dishes are the one who receive action. So here comes the broken here. Second question, the trembling children were given a blanket for warmth. Who is trembling? The children themselves. So they are the act performers, they are the action doers. So the ing verb form comes here as a participle adjective. Question 3, the compassionate friends tried to console the crying children. Since यहाँ पे children are the performing the action, they are the doers. So आपके पास जो verb है वो ing form में crying में आएगा, which is again serving as an adjective here. Question 4, the interesting tennis match caused a great deal of excitement. Tennis match is the one who is causing excitement. He is the action, he is the doer. तो आपके पास जो verb as an adjective के तौर पे serve करेगा, it will be in the ing form interesting. Question 5. When James noticed the burning building, he notified the fire department immediately. The burning building is the burning. He is the action. He is the one who is doing an action, not receiving. So यहाँ पे आपके जो पास जो participle होगा use होगा as adjective will be in the ing form burning. Question 6. The excited passengers jumped into the lifeboats when notified that the ship was sinking. Somebody excite the passengers. They were they received the action. They received the excitement. The passenger received the excitement, so they are the receivers. इसलिए यहाँ पे आपके पास जो adjective के तौर पे participle आएगा that will be in the ed form, which is excited. Now comes question 7. The smiling Mona Lisa is on display in the Louvre in Paris. So the Mona Lisa is smiling herself. She is the action. She is performing an action. So as a result, the adjective you receive करेगी will be in the ing form, which is a smiling. Question 8. The wind made such frightening noises that the children ran to their parents' room. Now wind is the one who is responsible for the action. He is causing the action. So इसके साथ जो adjective आएगा participle that will be in the ing form, which is frightening. Question 9. The frightened hostages only wanted to be left alone. Somebody frightened the hostages. So they are the one who is receiving the fright. As a result, इसके साथ जो adjective के तौर पे participle आएगा that will be in the ed form, which is frightened. Question 10. We saw the advancing army form across the town. Army is advancing. They are the actions doers. They are the performing. They are the active actions in the sentence. So the adjective will be in the ing form, which is advancing. Question 11. Mr. Harris's approving smile let us know that our speeches were well done. The smile is given by the Harris. He is the action doer. So the verb in the participle form will be ing format, which is approving. Question 12. Our representative is presented presented the approved plan to the public. Somebody approved the plan already, so we have gotten we are the receivers. So the adjective, the plan is approved by someone, so it is going to be a receiver which is approved, ed form. Now comes question 13. The blowing wind of the hurricane damaged the waterfront property. Wind is the one who is performing the action, the doer. So इसके साथ जो participle adjective आएगा, that will be in the ing form, which is blowing. Question 14. We were going to see the movie at the Center Theatre, but our friends told us it was a boring movie. Since movie is responsible for causing the bore, so boredom, it is actually the active action, it is the doer. So इसके साथ जो adjective participle आएगा, that will be in the ing form, which is boring. Question 15. Mary's cleaning service comes every Wednesday. Mary is performing an action. She is the direct person performing action. So इसके साथ जो adjective आएगा will be in the ing form, which is cleaning. Question 16. The clean shoes were placed in the sun to dry. Somebody cleaned it, so shoes received the action. They are the receivers, so इसके साथ जो adjective आएगा participle, that will be in the ed form, which is cleaned. Question 17. We could not open the locked door without a key. Somebody locked the door, so the door received the action. Being receiver, इसके साथ जो adjective participle आएगा, that will be in the ed form, which is locked. Question 18. As we entered the crowded room, I noticed my cousins. The room was crowded by the people, so room was the receiver of an action of being crowded by people. So इसके साथ जो आपका adjective participle आएगा, that will be in the ed form, which is crowded. I'm just repeating every sentence of every question, because by the time you're done with 20 questions, you should know कि receiver के साथ आपने क्या लगाना है और आपने action who actually doing the doers उसके साथ कौन सा participle लगाना है. Question 19. Dr. Jameson told my brother to elevate his aching foot. Last question of the exercise. The police towed away parked cars because they were blocking the entrance. So again, the cars were parked by someone. The cars received the action of parking by some drivers. So as a result, इसके साथ जो adjective participle आएगा will be in the ed form, which is parked and not parking. So all about आपके पास participle as adjective. If this all makes sense, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and share with your friends and family. Thanks for watching this video.